Welcome to Team Fight, the show where we analyze pro team fights and break down awesome plays. Let's set the stage. For Purple Team, Ahri has just been pulled over the wall, while Renekton and Nautilus are in the river. Elise is at mid lane and Graves is still a ways out. For Blue Team, Blitzcrank and Skarner are engaging on Ahri. To the left of them, Singed is coming from top lane. And in mid lane, Xerath is ready to engage. Like Graves, Ezreal is also not near his team. We're almost 30 minutes in. Though Purple Team had an early advantage, Blue Team started winning team fights, causing them to pull ahead in kills, towers, and gold. Skarner uses his ultimate on Ahri, dragging her back into the bush. Now, this play drives me crazy for one reason. Ahri is able to get away from anything. They've applied an exhaust to her. That exhaust means nothing because her ultimate is available. She is going to be able to jump away. The exhaust will not stop it. It's not like she's going to run out of here. She is actually just going to be able to jump away with 3 full charges. So what drives me crazy about this is Xerath is in the other direction. And I get that this is spur of the moment and Skarner wanted to get her as far back as possible, but he should have gone in the other direction. Xerath was the only person here who could get an additional hard crowd control on that Ahri. A lot of crowd control has been used on Ahri up to this point, but she is going to have no problem getting away from this. Ahri still has 2 dashes available on her ultimate, and she's used some discretion and not just using them to fall further back. She's actually staying in to make sure that she still can combo, and she's landed a pretty good charm on the Skarner here. Now Singed just threw his slowing field there, but again, this will not affect Ahri. She can still dash past it with no problem at all. At this point, Blue Team is really looking for any opportunity to actually initiate a fight, but Purple Team is using their mobility to disengage. This was very surprising to me. It doesn't look like this charm should actually connect with Ezreal because there's a minion in the way. So when I saw that it actually does connect, it was amazing to me. This is the second great charm this fight for Ahri. And it's not going to net a kill. Ezreal's still able to get away from this, but it's still a good shot. Skarner and Singed keep pressing into Purple Team, but Singed backs off as he's getting low, leaving Skarner to fend for himself. Alright, so Skarner doesn't make it. That said, Blue Team still has an awesome play here. There's a beautiful combination of AoE coming from Ezreal and Xerath. So Xerath's Arcano Pulse is going straight through the middle of 3 of them, but more importantly, Ezreal waited to use his ultimate for just this moment, when the teams are grouping up, which often happens shortly after a team fight occurs. They're all both only hitting 3 of them. They're not hitting the Elise or Ahri, but this was still, especially for Ezreal, the perfect time to fire his ultimate, dealing a lot of damage to the Purple Team. But Purple Team has been surviving this. They're taking a lot of unavoidable damage. You've got Singed, you've got Ezreal, and the Ezreal's even built a static shiv. You've got Xerath, you've got Skarner and Blitzcrank. These champions all deal multi-target damage. They all deal damage that the Purple Team is not going to be able to avoid. And Purple Team has actually built their gear around this. They have a lot of survivability. Every single one of them, except for Graves, has built a heavy survivability item. And that's going to allow them to survive the damage they weren't able to survive earlier this game. Just as Purple Team realizes the fight's favoring them, Xerath goes in for a combo on Elise. Yeah, this is pretty much where it's over. Xerath made a terrible mistake by getting greedy to go after that Elise. By doing that, Singed and Ezreal are moving back towards Xerath instead of continuing to back off, and for Singed this is especially bad because he does not have an easy escape here. Renekton's moving in. He's not going to have any problem getting his stun off on Xerath. You've also got Nautilus coming in. Now Nautilus hasn't even used his ultimate up to this point, and he's about to, and it's going to really hurt the Blue Team. Elise is going to have no problem backing off. This is where this fight becomes, okay, it's looking like it's not going too well in favor of Blue Team, and Blue Team could possibly just walk away and be fine. 2, Blue Team is going to get destroyed here. Purple Team quickly knocks out Xerath and then takes out Singed afterward. At this point, they can push freely to the tower. The team fight's over at this point, but there's still one small thing that I thought was pretty cool. Ahri and Graves are body blocking their 3 teammates who are very, very low health. Ezreal's never going to get an opportunity to actually damage them. Purple Team's going to take down both towers. Now, if Xerath hadn't gotten greedy at the very end of that fight, and he had respected his own ability to stay at a range, he could have easily defended at least one of these towers. From this point on, Purple Team goes on to convincingly win the next 2 big team fights, causing Blue Team to surrender the game. Thanks for watching this episode. Leave a comment to let me know how you would have played this fight differently.